suffering, and protection. As we go through life, we often come across unexpected challenges. And sometimes, in those very moments, help arrives through people we barely know. For those of us who believe in God, we often come to see these moments not as coincidences, but as signs of God's guidance and care. Still, even when God sends someone to help us, it's easy to focus only on the person and forget that it was God who sent them. When we live according to God's will, we may face more spiritual opposition than those who don't believe. And those who share the message of God's love with others often face even greater resistance. One person who knew this well was the Apostle Paul. He dedicated his life to spreading the good news about Jesus. Along with that calling, he experienced God's power and miracles. But he also faced many hardships, opposition, and suffering. When we take a closer look at Paul's life, we can see something encouraging. Even in his darkest and most dangerous moments, God was there, protecting, guiding, and providing what Paul needed. One of the first signs of God's care for Paul came when God simply encouraged him to be strong and courageous. When we face problems, we often want instant solutions. We want the trouble to go away quickly. Because of this, we sometimes miss the quiet comfort and encouragement that God offers us in the middle of our struggle. And if we let resentment or frustration take over, it becomes even harder to notice God's presence. In Psalm 37, 23-24, the Bible says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand." This verse reminds us that even when things go wrong, God doesn't leave us alone. In times of real trouble, he holds us up with his own hand. Sometimes that may mean a miracle, like when God sent angels to free Peter from prison. But more often, God works through people he places in our path to help, protect, and encourage us. This happened in Paul's life too. When he was being taken to Rome and the ship he was on was wrecked, the soldiers wanted to kill the prisoners to stop them from escaping. But the Roman centurion in charge stepped in to protect Paul and made sure everyone made it safely to land. That man was someone God had prepared in advance to save Paul. In our own lives, we may not experience something that dramatic, but many times we receive kindness or help from others in quiet, meaningful ways. And when we do, we're usually quick to thank the people who helped us, which is good and right. But it's also important to remember to thank God, who made it all possible. If we are people of faith, we should believe that behind every act of help or kindness, God is at work. He is the one orchestrating events and sending people at just the right time. So while we should absolutely express our thanks to others, we should also lift our hearts in gratitude to God. When we live with this kind of gratitude toward both people and God, something beautiful happens. God not only continues to protect us, but he also makes our paths smoother. He helps us find safe and steady ground, even in the middle of life's storms. To experience this, we must not lose our faith. Trusting God in every situation, even when things are hard, is what helps us walk through difficulties and come out safely on the other side. So don't doubt God's care for you. Place your life and your future in his hands. Trust that he knows what you need, and he will always provide help, sometimes through miracles, sometimes through people, but always in love. May you walk forward in faith, trusting in God's protection, and experiencing the peace that comes from relying fully on him.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.